Hey guys, what's going on? Alright, today we're doing a Heroes Unlimited conversion for Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. For Sub-Zero, I originally started off with wanting to give him Ultra Physical Structure Ice, because that like best represented the ability to create his snow powers. And I was going to create the limitation of him not being able to turn to ice. But then I went through the powers, and I'm like, you know, there's got to be something a little more closer. And I was like, maybe weather manipulation or weather control. I already knew I wanted to give him the energy expulsion code. And then I stumbled upon Sub-Zero, which ironically is his character's name. So looking at that, that gave him pretty much all the abilities I wanted. Gave him the ability to control the weather around him, lowering the temperature, although in Heroes Unlimited, it's a little more paced. You know, it's got the limitation of you can only do 25 degrees per round, so it's going to take like 3 to 4 rounds to knock the temperature down to 0, depending on where he is. I mean, it could be, if the environment's already cold, it could take him like 1 round, if anything. But assuming it's a temperate zone and you're like looking at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, it's going to take him 1 or 2 rounds to knock the temperature down to like freezing, where it's, you know, water starts turning to ice and all that. But yeah, no, the power Sub-Zero was perfect fit for him, amazingly enough. And then, you know, I gave him his code expulsion, gave him extraordinary physical prowess. In the recent Mortal Kombat movie, what is it, 2021? Sub-Zero in that version, he does this thing where he lifts the ice up and then tosses it. And I was like, could that be a power stunt from Sub-Zero? No, it wouldn't be. And I was like, I don't want to give him outright telekinesis either, because I just think that's a cheap way of doing it. But then I remembered there's a thing called telekinetic acceleration attack, where you basically pick up nearby debris and you toss it with like the speed of a railgun. I'm like, you know what? That works fine, because he's, you know, using it to pick up the ice around him on the ground that he created from freezing everything, and he throws it. Perfect. So one of the cool things about Sub-Zero is the power itself gives the ability to create ice armor. In this case, Sub-Zero in the video games and in the movies, he has his ability to create an ice duplicate of himself to act as a shield or block incoming attacks, or he can get away. So to create this, I ended up using the ice armor ability as a power stunt to create an ice duplicate, where it only takes an action for him to create this temporary ice sculpture, which can absorb an attack. But because it only takes an action to create, I decide, you know, it's only going to give so much protection, in this case 25 points, which is easily, you know, almost anything can pretty much destroy it from a super strong opponent, or a critical strike, or, you know, a weapon of like massive damage. So it can easily be destroyed, but it gives him a chance to get away, giving him a +4 to dodge. For Sub-Zero, we do know his martial arts style. While originally the characters were created with basically like just ninjutsu, but even that wasn't accurate really, based on their abilities in the game. But in one of the games, I think it was Mortal Kombat 4 or 5, they started introducing like different fighting styles. So for Sub-Zero, we do know his martial art is... So for Sub-Zero, we do know he has 2 different styles, martial arts at least, because they did start changing around in further games as the series continued. One is Dragon Style Kung Fu, which is Mo Long Kung Fu. The other one is Shotokan Karate, which unfortunately does not have a write-up in either Mystic China or Ninja Super Spies, as well as any Rifter supplements. So in this case, going through the different karates that have been written up, because I didn't want to do it myself, we did find one, Kyokushinkai Karate. So that's what we ended up using as a substitute. If you want to switch that out, go for it. Just, you know, just be aware of any adjustments to attributes and stuff that from what I've applied from the martial art itself.
Frosty, I don't need my powers to defeat you. Neither do I. I'll kill you with my own hands.
So for Sub-Zero, his stats are all randomly rolled. This goes from hit points to SDC to his attributes to even his level, just an FYI. So if you don't like his stats, you don't like his hit points, you don't like his SDC, please feel free to reroll. The version of Sub-Zero we are using is kind of a mixture between the various versions, but we're still going with the original Sub-Zero, who is a member of the Lin Kuei, which was a Chinese clan of assassins based out of a hidden area called Arctica. And he has a younger brother, which I think is the more popular character in the entire franchise, who went by Tundra, but then took up Sub-Zero's name after the original Sub-Zero died. Sorry, spoilers if anyone doesn't know this by now. But yeah, the brother got brought in Mortal Kombat 2 to try and avenge his brother's death originally, because of Scorpion. But then he realized that his brother was fucking out of his mind, because by that point Tundra was already outcast from the Linkway, but he was still trying to go there for like his family's honor. For body armor, it was kind of a mix, because there's, you know, like we've seen through the various games, movies, animations, we've seen everything go from like simple leather to like full-blown like samurai-like Chinese lamella armor. So in this case for body armor, I ended up just giving basic studded leather. If you want to change it up, hey, feel free to go for it. I'm just, you know, in my head, I'm just thinking of like something that's light, protective, but also minimizes any sort of movement penalties or penalties to like skills and stuff like that. So for Sub-Zero, when I first started him off, I was like, okay, since we know he has 2 martial arts styles, I'm going to work him up as a dedicated martial artist, and then from there he gets converted to an experiment, because he does eventually get his abilities from the Linkway, going through their mystical process. Could have made him a mystic bestowed, but I didn't want to give him like any supernatural elements in that regard, as far as like, you know, stuff like supernatural strength or anything like that, or even like radiating magic. So I was like, you know what, let's just make him an experiment, like a magical experiment variant. And then from there, just gave him, you know, secondary skills, and then he's got sub skills from between the martial art and like any other skills that might give him stuff. But you know, he got like martial arts, gave him extra language in Korean and Japanese, gave him his philosophy, and then as well as gymnastics, calligraphy, and then like a weapon proficiency, which I believe is from the karate. Or no, actually that might be the dragon that might be from the dragon, now that I think about it. But yeah. So he gets those extra skills, and then from gymnastics he gets, you know, working parallel bars and rings, sense of balance, climb rope, a backflip. He actually gets backflip from one of the other martial arts. I can't remember which one, but he gets it from gymnastics anyway. So it's just, you know, that one at least gives you more stats. So we just went with that one, you know, because he gets that 98% versus just the generic backflip. For Sub-Zero, I did give him some ninja powers, including the ability to evade detection, staying behind people if he needed to without them noticing, and, you know, he can predict their movements, stay out of sight. Gave him the ability to remain hidden, so, you know, he could like sit there waiting to attack someone. Give him the ability to instantly vanish from sight, sort of. Basically, you know, he's got to create some sort of distraction to distract someone, and then he can use that opportunity to get away. So it'd be something as simple as throwing down a smoke bomb and moving behind something, or dropping to the floor and rolling away. But, you know, all he needs is a couple of seconds to turn your attention elsewhere, and he's out of sight. You know, it's not like he's actually turning invisible or anything like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this conversion. Like I said, this is just my idea of the character. I've tossed out some suggestions. If you want to change it up, please feel free. If you want to change up, please feel free. I'm trying to do this new format where I'm just converting it from scratch versus like using an existing RPG that exists or whatever. And so hopefully you like these conversions, and I'll keep the next ones coming, hopefully soon. I don't know when, but you can check down below. You can download the PDF file for the character sheet and have fun using the character. If you like the video, please check out some of the links down below that can help support my YouTube channel. They're basically just affiliate links for like Amazon. So you just buy something, and I get like 5 or 10% of the sale, whatever, you know, the item cost is. But yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoy. Have a good time. Later.